Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Committed Critics, a pop culture podcast where we're not only committed to our opinions, but also each other. Aww. I'm Kevin Lau.
I'm Ryan Davis.
I'm Zachary Wright.
It's me, Chris Pratt.
Oh my god.
Whoa! Oh no.
Lord.
I think we're gonna get canceled now.
Is this cultural appropriation?
It's fine. They're both white.
Exactly. No, it's me, Jordan. What's up?
No, crazy. Dude. You didn't know that.
I had no clue. You sounded just like Chris Pratt in Jurassic World. I just, no idea.
Yeah.
Pompous and arrogant. That's what I was going for.
Oh damn.
Well,
there you go.
Well, you didn't nail it. So
Y'all smell that?
You're too
It's
nice
the
for
roast
that.
of Chris Pratt.
That's what this entire episode is about.
Just roasting Chris Pratt, turn him into a
Yes.
Chris Rat.
Oh no.
Today we're talking about not Chris Pratt. We're talking about older movies that we really enjoy. So if you consider yourself a cinephile, prepare those pitchforks and torches because you're gonna This is the episode when everyone realizes, oh, Kevin hasn't seen a lot of older movies. And
Take his film card.
Take my film card. Take it away. I don't want it. Not if I had to be arms width between arms width away from or whatever you call it, arm's length away
this
from
is
film
rough.
bros. Yeah, this is.
This is rough.
I don't want to be near film bros. They need
There
a
you go.
shower.
An arm's length away from film bros. There you go.
Yeah, there we
got
go. I
there.
struggled.
We got
Hey man,
there.
look, I just got off a shoot. I'm here.
Oh my god, that was bad. I'm sorry.
Are you still functioning, Kevin?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I was a real
but yeah,
asshole about it too because I called attention to it, so I gotta leave it in now.
No, leave it in. Leave it in, man. I'll take the bullet or whatever. But so what we mean by older movies, we mean movies that were made before 1970. So sorry, Zach and Ryan. Star Wars: A New Hope does not count.
Correct.
Damn.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
So
I made
yeah,
that stipulation last time.
yeah, I saw you did pre 1970s. Like, oh, so we're not doing the 70s this time. All right, Zach. You wrote yourself in this
last week.
I
or
know,
2 weeks
like
ago.
you put yourself in this corner. I'm gonna let you stay in that corner.
We were like, we probably should do pre-80s movies because like all of our favorite movies are in the 80s or after 1975.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So,
I
yeah.
had a hard time.
So yeah, 1970. Not 1970, before 1970. So 1960s or older. Just what's your favorite movies? How do they hold up? Does nostalgia play at all? Ryan, you want to kick us off with why you picked these movies?
Well, also, first off, I want to give a shout out to my coworker Brian Wilson, who gave me the idea for this topic, or told me suggested
yes, right.
it. But
Yeah, go Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
he loves our show.
Aw.
Yes. Who's his
But,
favorite critic?
That's
who's
one
his favorite
guys.
critic?
Woo! That's one. Woo!
He won't say who his favorite critic is. I'm assuming it's me because I work with him.
No,
Nah,
it's no.
I believe it.
Yeah, probably.
Not with your
Probably isn't.
opinions, sir.
Damn.
No, man. Ryan can get a cult following. I believe it.
Yeah, I can get all the underdogs in film on my side. No, one thing I liked about like older movies is that I don't know how to describe. It's like a classical feel. Like everyone just seemed to talk faster and do things more deliberately. Whereas like in movies today, it's like you have 200 different angles for like one scene in a movie, and it's like we gotta make it look like. It's more obvious they're trying to be artistic in movies today, whereas back in the day it was just kind of like, yeah, we did this scene, it actually looks pretty cool. Whereas in today they're like, you can obviously tell, oh, we're trying to do something different.
Yeah, man. Film was expensive.
Yeah,
You had a boiler load every shot.
Exactly. It's like, do we get it? Does it look great? Great. Moving on.
Sweet, or moving on next.
it's like we can't do that again, guys. We can't do 100 takes with this.
It's because it's like, well, unless you're Stanley Kubrick. I mean, a little bit of film history. It was because it's the only thing they had to work off of before film was theater. So like they just essentially just did recorded theater. And then it was over time. There was like, oh, we can actually get closer. We can get farther. We can, play around with shit.
We can move the camera.
Exactly.
The camera doesn't have to stay still. We can put it on a track.
Yeah. And who do we have to thank other than Orson Welles with Citizen Kane for breaking all the rules and showing us that, hey, you can do a lot of things with movies.
Me and
That
Ryan
movie is
fall
not
to
on
our
my-
knees. Just no.
That movie's not on my list. I hate Citizen Kane with a passion. I'm sorry to anyone who loves Citizen Kane, but after having watched it 7 times, I hate it merely for the fact that Citizen Kane's a terrible person, and I cannot stand watching that movie.
Oh, man, don't watch Taxi Driver.
Oh God, that's just Joker.
No, it's Joker, but good.
Fair. Yeah, fair.
Fair. I haven't seen Taxi Driver, but I assume anything's better than Joker these days.
Well, Taxi Driver is legitimately good. It just gets misinterpreted a lot.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, some of my movies are from nostalgia, from watching with my grandparents or my dad. But then some of them are just, I genuinely enjoyed this movie just because it was cool. It was fun. It gave me 2 hours to do something.
Mm-hmm. Nice. How about you, Zach?
I lost my place in the thing. So I separated from my own picks. Speaking about movies, older movies in general, I think nostalgia plays a big factor for when you remember movies from your past. When you think of them, we think of where we were and who we were with and like when and what the circumstances of what we watched them were. So it's kind of hard to judge them objectively. So because we have an emotional attachment to them. That's not a bad thing by any means, but it's just something to keep in mind when like you're remembering like a movie. It's like, oh man, that movie is really good. You go back and watch. It's like, ooh, wait a minute, there's some messed up shit in here.
Yeah.
But like for me, for my example, my picks are ones that I haven't watched in a long time. They're the ones that stand out to me in my childhood that I remember having watched in my formative years. So that's where I'm coming from when I pick my older movies because I don't really watch older movies too much. Yeah.
Cool. How about you, Jordan?
All right. Well, so today's episode, like we've kind of already talked about, it's just like we're talking about movies that came out when like our parents were kids or even before they were born. So I think like watching an older movie, like especially with our parents and grandparents, nostalgia is definitely going to play a big role. Like, so for example, when my brother and I were kids and stuff, like my parents would do a date night or whatever, and then we would spend the night at my grandparents' house. And sometimes we would watch the show Lawrence Welk. And usually it came on like at 11. We were past our bedtime. We were slap happy and like we would just make fun of the show with my grandma. But kind of looking back on it now, I can definitely see like this is what they used to watch and this is what they used to enjoy. So it's cool to kind of see that happen and just kind of share those experiences with them. But like for me, what I look for with an older movie and just kind of, I don't know what it makes me think like, oh yeah, this is definitely an older movie besides the year that it was made. And kind of Ryan already talked about this. It's just like the story and the acting. Like you said, Kevin, it's theater come to the big screen and stuff like that. Like they didn't have CGI technology like we do now. Like hell, some of these movies didn't even have sound or color. So I feel like the films were really relying heavily on the acting and the story. And yeah, we do have some films like that today, but it's definitely, you know, not like what it used to be. And because we have newer technology and stuff like that. So it's not going to be the same that I, you know, like it used to be. But that's kind of something that I always look for is just like, as someone who loves the theater and stuff like that and was a theater kid in high school, it's cool to kind of see those older movies and be like, that's how they used to be. And just, I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah. What about you, Kevin?
So I didn't grow up watching any like pre-1970s movie because I was a cartoon kid. I was a cartoon kid when I wasn't being forced to watch documentaries.
Damn, that's a big rip there. Big rip there.
Yeah. No, so it is definitely hurt my adulthood a little bit where like I just can't stand watching documentaries.
Animal Planet, Kevin's shit right there.
Yeah, no,
Planet Earth,
not my
right
thing.
there.
Not my thing. I do not like nature documentaries. I can kind of watch film documentaries, but it has to be like I have to be super interested in it, super in the mood for it. There are 80s films that I do have a lot of nostalgia for, like Gremlins, Karate Kid, Back to the Future, and stuff like that. But I'm not much of a nostalgic person. I always try to like whenever I watch an old thing, it's like, oh, but what if we like, what would it be like now if you were to make the same movie now? Like, what would happen and culturally and all that stuff. But but like for the nature of like this episode, my picks that I have here are all films I watched after I graduated film school. So no nostalgia was used in the making of these decisions, except for one. But like I watched it in film school, but like I rewatched it after I graduated, and then like had a new appreciation for it. So
Okay.
Cool.
With that
Alright,
being
so-
said,
Yeah, Kevin, what are your picks?
yeah.
oh man, Night of the Living Dead,
Okay.
not from 1968. Tokyo Drifter from 1966. Some Like It Hot from 1959. All About Eve from 1950. Notorious from 1946. The Great Dictator from 1940, and Metropolis from 1927.
Kevin, when I saw Tokyo Drifter, I was very confused because I was like, Fast and Furious? I was like,
Dude.
they had a Fast and Furious movie before.
Dude, we gotta watch Tokyo Drifter when you visit. It's
All
so
right,
good.
Is this
Ryan, what are
the
your
one where they
picks?
have the race cars?
No, there's no race cars in it.
Oh god, yes. I do agree with Kevin on the Great Dictator. I forgot about that one. I do enjoy that movie, but the picks I had down were 12 Angry Men in 1957, Batman, the 1966 version with Adam West.
Nice.
Hey, that was a good bam pow wow type of movie. Rear Window from 1954, Ace in the Hole 1951, Roman Holiday 1957, Raisin in the Sun 1961. Miracle on 34th Street, the 1947 version, not the 2000s version or 1990s version with what's her face? The girl from Matilda.
Mara Wilson.
What's her face?
Mara
Yeah.
Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then It Happened One Night from 1934.
Okay.
Nice.
Man, look at all these movies. Like I haven't seen some of these.
I know. So for me, I was.
I haven't seen
blame
12
my-
Angry Men. Haven't seen Rear Window. Haven't seen Roman
What?
Holiday. I have
Weren't
seen
you all
Raisin in the
film majors?
I have
Yes.
seen Raisin in the Sun, but it's like I watched it for a literature class because I read the play.
Fake film majors. is
I
what
know.
I'm hearing.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Right?
wait till you see my reaction to Zach's picks.
Oh yeah, mine are just three. Mine's To Kill a Mockingbird from 1962, Spartacus from 1960, and 2001: A Space Odyssey from 1968.
And I haven't seen any of them.
Me,
Really?
I've
You
seen
didn't see
Kill
To
a
Kill a
Mockingbird,
Mockingbird?
and that was awkward.
I have not seen To Kill a Mockingbird. I did not have to read it in high school.
Oh,
and
that's
I
right.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
still
I do plan to
the
read
most-
it though.
It's still the most awkward book I've ever had to read in a class.
I
full of,
bet.
like, kids.
From what I know of it, I'm like, I don't think this is as good as people think it is.
It's a good
It's just
book.
awkward as hell.
It's just awkward when the teacher, like in like high school, is like making everyone read the words, and like the words are like the N word and like really terrible
Yeah.
Okay,
words
so your
aloud.
teacher said that you could do that too.
Yes.
None of us did,
Yeah.
but my teacher did, and it
Yeah.
was so weird.
We're like, I don't think we should, and like, our teacher would just like fill it in for us. We're like, what is wrong? What is this? Shouldn't be
no.
happening.
My teacher did it too, and I was just sitting there like, this is awkward, and I'm like, should I like talk to someone about this?
Yeah, I'm
My
like,
parents
this is
was like, is that allowed?
strange.
Oh no.
Yeah, but for 2000 and Spartacus, I watched in middle school, but I'll get into that. And then 2001: A Space Odyssey, I like the beginning, I like the middle, I hate the ending.
I haven't seen it. I always seen clips of it, but like I'm always surprised that it came out in the 60s because it looks
Just-
like it was
I know.
shot in the 80s.
All you need to know is giant space fetus.
Giant space fetus.
I love those.
Jordan,
Not enough of those in cinema.
Too many.
Jordan,
One
go.
too many.
So for me, I only picked two, but it would be Rear Window from 1954. And then as I was helping Zach find some movies, because I thought we were only just picking one, that's why I started with Rear Window. But after trying to help Zach find movies that he may have watched, I did remember another one that I actually enjoyed, which is Double Indemnity. And that came out in 1944.
Supposedly the best film noir.
It's a good one.
I haven't seen it, but it's ranked as like the most noir of the film noir genre.
Yeah, because it kind of set the standard for film noir, which we'll talk a little bit
Good
about
pull.
later.
Good pull.
More noir than Spider-Man noir?
It has all yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
But it has all the qualities of noir, like every single one of them that makes a film noir a film noir. So,
Yes.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Very good one. Ha! I'm a film nerd now.
Welcome,
I know
it sucks.
more of a film nerd than me.
I switched majors too.
Jordan, I wasn't even in film.
Yeah. Ryan's a bigger film buff than me. Look at all that. Look at that.
The closest
know,
I
right?
got to film was acting in Kevin's movies.
Oh my god. All right, with that, Kevin.
We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about why we chose our movies. That's pretty much it. Bye.
Hey everybody, my name is Jordan, and you've probably heard me on an episode or two, but did you know I also have a baking channel? Bluebell Bake is by the amateur baker for the amateur baker. On the channel, I'll be posting recipes, tips and tricks, and more so we can all learn to better our baking skills. You can find my channel on YouTube at Bluebell Bake, we're currently posting monthly, or on Instagram and TikTok, both at bluebell.bake. Come join our little community where no matter what happens, we keep on baking.
Don't you wish there was a pop culture review site that appealed to cinephiles, both professional and casual? Well, look no further than crpwrites.com. New content such as movie and TV reviews, film essays, and more are released every week by writers who crave for movies like every moviegoer craves for popcorn. CRP Writes is dedicated to making sure no one is wasting time or money where they shouldn't be. After all, you have to be able to buy your popcorn and eat it too. crpwrites.com. Casual reviews with purpose since 2018.
And welcome back to Committed Critics as we talk about our favorite older films. And now we're going to talk about why we chose the movies that we chose. What specifically about it calls to you. Zach, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, sure. So for me, these three films I remember watching some point in my formative years of education. Mm-hmm. So I remember seeing Spartacus in 7th grade during our Roman history section. And, yeah. So like we had to like sign have our parents sign like a waiver saying like, hey, you're gonna see some really messed up shit in here. But like that's how I know who Kirk Douglas and Michael Douglas are. And so we watched it. I really enjoyed it. And, like, I remember I would read the Wikipedia all the time because I know where to find Spartacus. I was really not infatuated with it, but it was really kind of a cool seeing Roman history in a movie because I haven't really seen a lot of Roman history movies.
You haven't seen Gladiator?
I've not seen Gladiator. No,
I haven't either.
Or 300.
That's different.
My brother was obsessed with that.
Wait, is 300 Greek or is that Roman? I'm sorry.
I think it's Roman, but it's heightened, very mythological base. So it doesn't count as history.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to Spartacus, it was kind of fucked because you see crucifixion in the 7th grade. You see a man being crucified and it's
you weren't forced to watch Passion of the Christ when you were a child?
We were not. Were you? Do you need to talk to someone, Kevin?
Yeah, I watched Passion of the Christ as a kid.
Oh my God.
You know how many times I've seen Jesus being crucified?
Passion of the Christ is a Mel Gibson movie. Jim Caviezel from Person of Interest was Jesus.
Are you guys okay?
Sure. Religion's fucked.
I didn't have to watch any of this. I didn't
see Jesus
watch
crucified
about the Bible
multiple
and got a
times,
Snickers
Jordan.
bar.
Hey, at least I didn't watch Watership Down as a kid, so there's that.
I haven't seen that either.
Anyway, moving on. But seriously though, God is real. Great movie. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
Terrible. I didn't make the joke.
Oh man.
To Kill a Mockingbird, really good adaptation from book to movie from what I remember. Like I said, I haven't seen these three movies in a while, so if I'm saying anything problematic, please call me out. Good God. I remember being pretty true from the book to movie from when we watched it in high school. It takes the written medium and really shows it well in a visual medium. Yeah, still, the actor who plays Atticus Finch does a really good job in the role. Gregory Peck. Yeah.
He was nominated, wasn't he?
I'm pretty sure he's the first Academy Award winner.
He's a top tier.
Yeah, he's a top tier guy. But yeah, definitely good. In 2001, I chose it because it's a film buff sci-fi film buff's wet dream. We probably wouldn't have most sci-fi films without it, so I feel like it deserves a place on this list.
Oh, definitely.
I saw it plenty of times in college, sequences, and I'm pretty sure I would say with the bits and pieces I've seen, I probably have seen all of it. I know I've seen the freaking ape scene. I've seen the Hal sequence.
That bone match cut.
The bone match cut. Every film professor gets off to it. Good God.
Hey, man, you wouldn't have Star Wars without it. So
no, you're right. Or pretty white porcelain backdrops in the Hal sequence. And I've seen it plenty of times in college, so it earns a slot for its merits. That's my picks.
Cool. How about you, Jordan? Why did you pick your picks?
So I picked, just as a little refresher, I picked Rear Window and Double Indemnity. So these were both introduced to me in my film studies class in high school, as well as my media studies class, both during my junior year of high school, same semester. Oh, they were so good. So they were actually some of my favorite classes from high school. And this was my high school in Canada, not my US high school. But they just kind of introduced me to older movies. And I remember specifically that Rear Window was one of the first films where the entire movie takes place in one location. And I actually just really enjoyed watching it. I also remember like my teacher having to explain how old cameras used to work. So like the whole flash scene at the end, like the reason he has to keep replacing the light bulb and stuff in the flash cameras because they were only used once. So I remember getting that history lesson, and that was pretty cool. And then Double Indemnity, like we kind of already talked about before the break, it's sort of setting the standard for film noir. And I just remember really enjoying it and kind of learning more about the film noir genre before we actually watched it, and then watching it and then being able to point stuff out. It was something that like really helped me kind of solidified that I liked movies, and I liked kind of critiquing movies and looking for things, studying movies, until I got to college, and then I switched majors, but that's fine. But psych. No, but just like honestly, my issue with older movies, like specifically American older movies, is like the transatlantic accent. Especially when the actors would speak really fast. So sometimes for me, it was hard to understand everything that was going on. But
they did not have subtitles back then.
They did not have subtitles. And now it's very hard for me to watch something without subtitles. But like with these two movies, I just kind of felt like I understood them perfectly fine and was able to enjoy watching them while also being able to learn from them. So they have a little special place in my heart, even though I haven't seen them since junior year of high school.
Have you seen Brick by chance?
I feel like I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Brick is Ryan Johnson's first short film, right?
It's first feature film.
First feature film? Okay.
Yeah, so it's a modern film noir, but with high schoolers.
Oh,
so
nice.
If you like film noir, highly recommend.
Yeah, I kind of realized both of the movies I picked have a murder in them, so
nice.
Do with that as you will.
I'm in danger.
Oh no.
It's okay, Jordan.
Jordan, don't watch Blackmail.
Oh no.
It's okay, Jordan. Most of mine, for some reason, are romantic, and I hate romance movies.
We just switched. You and I flip flop. This is weird. This is weird.
I know.
With that, Ryan, go ahead.
For context, the ones that are romantic are Roman Holiday, It Happened One Night, kind of Miracle on 34th Street as a subplot of romance, Raising the Sun as a subplot of romance because it's a family, and then also Ace in the Hole a little bit, but not as much because it's mostly about leaving a man to die in a cave. But
nice.
Yeah, most of those movies I watched during like college or whatever, for my like journalism and ethics class, because it was basically showing you, hey, journalists are kind of like unethical, and I'm like, yeah, they were back in the day. I'm hoping not as much today. But I mean, we're not.
It depends on the journalist.
Mainstream media. Goddamn. No, I'm just kidding.
Put on your tinfoil hats.
Fake news and everything. We all suck. I hate Miracle on 34th Street is my favorite Christmas movie. I prefer the remake more, but I love the original all the same, especially for the fact that they're allowed to use Macy's as their store. Whereas in the remake, they have to just we're Coles. But it's Coles, but it's spelled Cole.
Oh my god.
I'm like, yes. Creative right there. Raising the Sun, I actually got to be in that play as well. Theater kid as well. So I was the boy. Oh god, I still hate this. I was the boyfriend who was the who was like kind of rich or whatever, and so like you know he forgot where he came from. He's the white black dude, and I was like, of course. And then 12 Angry Men I watched 13 times to prepare for a play because my dad said I needed to watch the movie and understand each juror, and I did not get the part because my voice was cracking and therefore I did not sound like an angry man. I sounded like an angry tween.
Let me do the math here. You watched 12 Angry Men 13 times. So you watched it once for fun and then once for each angry man?
No, once to just watch the movie in general. just so I
for
know what the
fun.
movie's about.
Yeah.
And then the 13 and the other 12 are to watch each person. Yes.
Yep. There
And
you
then,
go.
of
Math
course-
checks out.
Of course, you can never go wrong with Batman 1966 because, I mean,
Holy shit, Batman.
some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
You need the bat shark repellents. Yeah, that's a solid movie.
Great Scott, the batteries are dead. I was like, Batman with batteries?
What's a Terry? So that one flopped. So yeah, the reason why I picked my picks, Night of the Living Dead, because it still feels thematically bold even to this day. It's really solid, really good, actually really creepy too. For 1968, I thought it was gonna be cheesy, but nah, dude, it still hits. Tokyo Drifter, because it's the definition of cool and contains the type of masculinity I want to see more of. Where it's just kind of like, no, I'm like, oh, it's not.
I was gonna say, like,
not.
what?
No, it's just
Well,
kind of
what-
like, it's like, no, I can't be with you because I have to protect you. They're after me. I have to go alone. That kind of deal. It's like, and he does it so cool and suavely. I'm like, I want to be that guy.
I want to be that guy.
Some like it hot because it's a timeless comedy that somehow isn't offensive given the main joke. Because the main joke is that these two guys are getting in trouble with the mob, so they hide from the mob by dressing up as women and joining an all women band. It surprisingly is not offensive at all, and it is so funny. It's very good. All About Eve, because it's such a good drama. Like, you know, we're talking about how like these older films have to rely on acting, directing, and writing more. This is a film that like masters all three of those elements. It's really good. Notorious, because it's a masterclass on directing. It's my favorite Hitchcock film so far. It's like one of the two movies where like if someone tells me, oh, I want to learn more about directing, it's like watch Jaws, watch Notorious. Like those are the two movies you need to watch for directing.
Okay.
Which one's Notorious? Is Notorious the one with the spy? Like the
spy, the key.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. Cool. That's what I
One
thought.
of the only ones I haven't seen.
I did like Notorious.
It's really, I love it.
Yeah.
I love the Great Dictator because it's chicken noodle soup for the soul. Just makes me feel good every time I watch it. And Metropolis, because it's just plain awesome. And one day I hope we can find the missing 30 minutes of footage so it could be a full 3 hours.
Jesus
Kevin.
Christ.
Kevin, I am sorry. I did not like Metropolis.
I
fell
know
asleep
you don't like
during it.
Metropolis. We've talked about it before.
It's all
I
right.
fell asleep. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fine. I don't blame you.
I've never seen it.
I also
Yeah, you don't need to.
Oh,
forgot to
no.
mention.
No, don't listen to Zach.
You don't
I
need
also
to.
forgot
It's
to
fine.
mention a movie, Lord of
It's
the
very good.
Flies,
Lord of the Flies? Okay.
1963 version, Lord of the Flies, mainly just for Piggy's death, because for some reason my high school class cracked up watching that.
Jesus.
oh no.
All right.
It's like
man.
very over dramatic.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and wrap our final thoughts and one thing that could be stronger into one thing. So let's speed round it. All right.
All right. One thing that could be stronger, improved on. Some like a hot. I would love to see a same period remake from a woman's perspective. I think it would be added something really fresh and interesting just to see that film directed by a woman, but still set in the same time period.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Ryan.
Besides the pale cast in most of my movies,
Just call them white, damn it. They're all white fucks.
I would like to see a little bit more color, but also stop making journalists look like assholes. Only some of us are. Yeah, and I did realize that most of my movies were mid 70s, early 80s that I watched when I was going through. I had to cut them out. I watched more shows that were before in the 70s and everything.
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace.
For me, I'm not really a fan of how trippy 2001 gets at the end with the giant space fetus baby. And it feels really like Miyazaki from like the from Soft Games. Like it's just kind of like a weird thing to look at. Kind of pulls you out of the story. I'm sure there's probably some bad stereotypes in either To Kill a Mockingbird and Spartacus. There's gotta be, like, based off what.
Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be. So work on those as well. Both are products of the time, so you got to not give them some slack for it, obviously, but like remember when the times were made. Obviously, they'll still hold them accountable for their actions. But yeah, Jordan.
For me, I think the movies I picked are fine just as they are. It would be kind of cool to see. I mean, Brick came out in 2005. I looked it up, so like getting another like film noir would be cool. But can you go back?
Sorry.
But like sadly, like I'd love to see more representation, but for the times these were made, like you aren't going to get that like really with older movies. That says something about our history, but you know, it's something to learn from.
For sure.
Real quick note: technically, To Kill a Mockingbird could be considered a white savior film. Just FYI, so keep that in mind when you watch it.
Yeah.
I read the cliff notes of it. I'm no.
Yeah,
it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, oh, that's why. It's like it's because it's a love story, but it's being taught as like a political movement. I'm like, oh no.
yeah, basically, for sure.
So yeah, quick final thoughts. If you want to watch a modern movie that's essentially intro to film history, I highly recommend watching Hugo from 2011. It's a children's movie directed by Martin Scorsese. It's really good.
Yeah.
I need to watch older movies, so that's why this is where I plug in my my new YouTube channel called Backlog Boogaloo, where I just spend 2 to 3 hours a week just catching up on stuff that I've been putting off for years and years. And I should have a new film review every other Friday.
Nice. I was very surprised when I saw it. I'm like, what's Backlog Boogaloo? And they followed me on Twitter. I'm like, oh, hey, this is what it is. Nice. It's super cool.
It's a surprise reveal.
I watched your Fight Club video. Super good. Super good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Ryan?
I watch a lot more. I recommend watching Charlie Chan or Sherlock Holmes if you count those as movies, because they were just 2 hour long things. Watch the old stuff, especially Charlie Chan. Really good. Slightly offensive, but very good.
Yeah. For me, I kind of echo Kim says. I need to watch older movies, but they're just not really on my top of my list, and I probably won't get around to it. So don't hold me accountable for that.
One thing I think helps is that, at least for me, I don't think of it as older movies or foreign movies or anything like that. I just think of them as just movies, period. Yeah. So it's like when I want to watch a movie, I just kind of take whatever looks interesting. I don't care if it's another language as long as it has subtitles, or I don't care if it's older as long as I know what I'm looking at. So there it is.
Jordan?
I kind of already said this already, but I think there's a time and place for older movies, and it was when they were made. But
oh no.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Like there's still a lot of representation issues as well as typecasting, but I do think it's cool to look back on history just to see how far filmmaking has come and still how far we can go with it.
Perfect example, To Kill a Mockingbird.
One day I'll read it and watch it. One day. It's on the list. So yeah, we'll come back in a couple of weeks to review Jaws.
Ooh.
Not sure if you guys have watched it already. I know I gave you. Okay. I know Ryan's seen it.
I watched it again.
Oh,
good for you.
I'm excited to talk about it. And I'm going to be sad if you guys hate it. But if you want to hear the rest of our thoughts on other topics, tune into our episode over on Patreon. Link to that is below in the description. Only $5 a month. You can access to the entire second half of our show. You can follow us on Twitter at Committed Chris, COMMITTEDCRITS, YouTube Committed Critics, TikTok at Committed Critics, and special thanks to our current patrons: Davey Peppers from Game Mechanics, Ryan Kolakowski from Ryan Plays Drums, Andy Phillips from Andy Phillips, Jody Wright, and Devin Vonderhyde. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.